Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Kauravani Pracharine Nirbhisesa Shunyavadi Paskatyade Sitarine Namaste Saraswati Deve Kauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Shunyavadi Paskatyade Sitarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrindam Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrindam Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrindam Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrindam Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayom Vishnupad Brahmhangsa Purvadakacharya Asadhara Sidhu Shri Sriman, His Divine Grace Shalasi Bhaktivedanta Swami Raj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Gaur Premanande Harival, glories to the sound devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhute, Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamane, Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharne Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskatyate Satarne. So you can put on there the verse 434, Bhagavad Gita. Om Agyana Tivanandasya Gananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unvilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Didati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Sha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Prijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shiva Sakans Vitams Cha Hey Krishna Karna Sindho Dinabando Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prishubhana Sudadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakapa Trubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Patidana Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Pranitananda Shadwaiti Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 4, Transcendental Knowledge, text number 34. Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshanaha Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshanaha Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshanaha. Ladies. Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshanaha. That's the easy word here. Try it again. Tat. Actually, we can just, everyone speaks Romanian. Okay, I'll read in English. Tat, that knowledge of different sacrifices. Vidi, try to understand. Pranipatena, by approaching a spiritual master. Pariprashnena, by submissive inquiries. Sevaya, by the rendering of service. Upadekshanti, they will initiate. Te, you. Jnanam, into knowledge. Jnanina, the self-realized. Tattva, of the truth. Darshinaha, seers. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Purport. The path of spiritual realization is undoubtedly difficult. The Lord therefore advises us to approach a bona fide spiritual master in the line of disciple succession from the Lord himself. No one can be a bona fide spiritual master without following the principle of disciple succession. The Lord is the original spiritual master, and a person in the disciple succession can convey the message of the Lord as it is to his disciple. No one can be spiritually realized by manufacturing his own process, as is the fashion of the foolish pretenders. The Bhagavatam 6.3.19 says, Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. The path of religion is directly enunciated by the Lord. Therefore, mental speculation or dry arguments cannot help lead one to the right path, nor by independent study of books of knowledge can one progress in spiritual life. One has to approach a bona fide spiritual master to receive the knowledge. Such a spiritual master should be accepted in full surrender, and one should serve the spiritual master like a menial servant without false prestige. Satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. Inquiries and submission constitute the proper combination for spiritual understanding. Unless there is submission and service, inquiries from the learned spiritual master will not be effective. One must be able to pass the test of the spiritual master. When he sees the genuine desire of the disciple, he automatically blesses the disciple with genuine spiritual understanding. In this verse, both blind following and absurd inquiries are condemned. Not only one should hear submissively from the spiritual master, but one must get a clear understanding from him in submission and service and inquiries. Bona fide spiritual master is by nature very kind toward the disciple. Therefore, when the student is submissive, is always ready to render service, the reciprocation of knowledge and inquiries becomes perfect. So the text again. Tadvidi Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya Budeshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshanaha. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswatam Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Srinivadi Paskatyade Siddharne. At the beginning of this chapter, Lord Krishna had told Arjuna that in the beginning he spoke to the sun god Vivashvan, and the Vivashvan instructed his disciple Manu, and Manu instructed Ikshvaku. Evam parampara praptam Amram Rajarshya Vidu Sakaleneha Mahata Yogo Nashta Parantapa. In this way, the saintly kings in the line of disciple succession obtain this knowledge, but in the course of time this succession was broken, and now I am speaking the same knowledge to you again. In other words, it is not that one has to become creative to be a spiritual master or to have some special knowledge. One has to simply repeat the same knowledge appropriately according to time, place, and circumstance to the student. Now, Prabhupada begins with the path of self-realization is undoubtedly difficult. If we follow the process, it's simple, and if we don't follow the process, it becomes very difficult. Now we have to understand what the process is. Now we may want to follow the process, but if we don't know what the process is, it's difficult to follow it. Therefore, generally speaking, we only understand a little bit at a time what the actual process is, and therefore we can only follow a little bit at a time. But if we don't start with a little bit, then we'll get nothing. If we say it's all or nothing, then we'll get nothing. If we want a little bit at a time, then we'll get a little bit at a time, and after a while that will add up to something substantial. In the beginning it appears to be slow, that's because we're slow. But when we pick up, then when things become clearer, then it becomes more enlivening and enlightening, the process of devotional service. Now, because it is difficult, Krishna advises to approach a bona fide spiritual master in the line of disciple succession from the Lord himself. In other words, Krishna didn't purposely make it difficult. He didn't think, well, I'm so great to obtain that I don't really want a whole lot of people back in the spiritual world. Maybe I'll just put a few obstacles, so many obstacles that no one will come here and we can have a peaceful spiritual world just with my eternal associates. In other words, you get to Vaikuntha and you see a big sign, keep out. Like the four Kumaras, after millions of years of penance and austerity, they arrive at the gates of Vaikuntha, and their only greeting is, get out of here. Get lost. Now Krishna has given a process, and he advises to approach his representative. Now he's the spiritual master within the heart. He's the one who's encouraging us to do this. Without Krishna giving us the intelligence to do it, we won't do it. Well, first of all, we won't even know what a bona fide spiritual master is without Krishna giving us Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra to explain it. In other words, if someone says, I'm a bona fide spiritual master, follow me. Okay, what are your qualifications? Don't think about that. No, a bona fide spiritual master will explain what the qualifications to be a bona fide spiritual master are. And those same qualifications we'll find in the same words that Krishna gave in the scriptures, or Krishna's representatives. And if we hear about the qualifications coming from Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, then we can ask Krishna from within the heart, does this make any sense? Because he's the one who supplies intelligence. If he tells us it's all nonsense, then we won't follow it. But then we have to follow something. So we have to figure out what makes more sense than following Krishna's representatives into succession. At least for self-realization, do we have an alternative to come in contact with Krishna? Is there some mountain in Timeshwara we're going to go up, raise our hands and say, Krishna, tell me what to do? And then from the cloud comes, listen. You could try that, and maybe you'll hear something, maybe you'll hear a lot of things. Go naked, run through the streets. Yes, I'll do it. Or we can hear this information, and here Krishna is giving us the information that the process of self-realization has three parts. First of all, Krishna says, no one can be a bona fide spiritual master unless he's in the super succession of the Lord himself. In other words, Krishna spoke something 5,000 years ago, or he spoke it 5 trillion years ago, and someone has to repeat the same message to be bona fide. The postman comes with a letter, and we assume that the postman hasn't changed the letter, and therefore he's a bona fide postman. Now, if the postman opens the letter and decides he doesn't like what someone wrote to you, and makes changes. What's that?
The tempo is too high.
That he decides that he doesn't like the contents of the letter, and he decides to change all the contents so you can get his opinion of what the letter should be, then he's not a bona fide postman. So if Krishna is God, and after all, if we're in the Hare Krishna movement, we assume that, at least theoretically, that Krishna might be God. Otherwise, what's the sense of hearing Bhagavad Gita? Because it's about the science of God. Now, if it was the science of make flower arrangements, it wouldn't be necessary that Krishna was God to tell us how to make a flower arrangement. But because this is the science of God, therefore someone has to be God. Now, if we don't blindly accept that Krishna is God, because that would be a waste of time, but we're hearing about God to find out if he's really God. Like, for instance, someone presents to you that he's a policeman. Now, if you don't believe him, you can call up the authorities in the city to find out if he's actually a policeman. Now, if he's supposed to be a policeman and he's trying to sell you a watch, You can also call up the city and tell him, is he a policeman? And if you say, yes, he's a policeman, but tell him he's trying to sell you a watch, he wasn't acting like a policeman. So if one is actually a representative of, say, a company, say I'm a representative of a company, I'm selling, jewelry. Or better than that, I'm selling you, I don't know what's appropriate for. I'm selling you a car. I'm a representative of Toyota. And instead of selling you Toyota cars, I sell you my own brand of cars. In the name of Toyota. I attach to my own car that I made myself the label Toyota. And I sell it to you at a bargain price, of course. So, I'm claiming to be a representative of Toyota, but I'm doing something else. So therefore I'm actually not a bona fide representative of Toyota. So if we accept theoretically that Krishna is God, then the representative of Krishna must also accept that Krishna is God and repeat the same thing that he says, because if he's God, then he knows past, present, future. If he doesn't know past, present, future, then how can he be God? And if I have to change what he said, that means he didn't know everything past, present, future, which means I don't accept him really as being God. Therefore I'm wasting my time and I'm wasting everyone else's time. Now, as it says here, Tarko apratishta shrutiya vibhina nisavari shiryasyana binam dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam mahajano yena kata sapanda. That we can argue about what's in this book, or we can consult many different books, or we can give the opinion of many different authorities on these books. But ultimately we won't get anywhere, because as it will be mentioned here, that Krishna is not really satisfied just by theoretical arguments. He wants us to see how much we're willing to surrender to him. It is not that one becomes perfect by getting perfect information. One becomes perfect by applying perfect information. So, if we want to find out about the science of God, it's not enough to find out people who theoretically give different opinions about the science of God. We have to find someone who's actually serving God. That's called a Mahajan, who not only theoretically knows the science, but is applying it. Now, there are many people, theoretically, they know the science of different things, like how to sleep, for instance. You can go on the internet. There are authorities on sleeping, because people have difficulty nowadays sleeping. So people have to give elaborate instructions, right? They have seminars and courses that you can buy, how to go to sleep. And usually they're so boring that everyone goes to sleep during them. So, but these people are Mahajans in the mode of ignorance. And there are people who can tell you how to make money, how to cheat people, so that you present them something that's worth a dime, and they have to pay $10 for it. So it's like nowadays, pharmaceuticals, at least in America, they have something that costs them $1 to make, and they sell it for $10,000. And they tell you, unless you buy it for $10,000, unless you get this medicine, you're going to die in a week. So that people sell their houses, they mortgage their home, they sell their car, just so they can afford to get this medicine that costs $1 to make, and they're selling it for $10,000, and you have to buy it for weeks and months. So that's called Mahajan in the mode of passion. They can teach you how to cheat people so you become a billionaire very soon. And they can also teach you how to bribe all the judges how to bribe the politicians by giving them money for their campaigns so they get into office because of your mercy, and they pass laws to help your mercy, etc., etc. So that's in the mode of passion. And in the mode of goodness, we find that there are some people, they love the porcupines, they love the dolphins, they love the whales. They don't like children very much in the womb, but anyhow, that's not so important. So there are people in the mode of goodness. There are the acharyas in the mode of goodness. But if we want to become spiritually realized, then we have to find someone who's transcendental to the modes, who's actually engaged in the spiritual service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and follow them. Now here's the process, is that one should approach a bona fide spiritual master to receive the knowledge. To receive real knowledge, meaning not just theoretical knowledge, but experience in Krishna consciousness. And here it says, such a spiritual master should be accepted in full surrender. One should serve the spiritual master like a menial servant without false prestige. In other words, what is our asset we have to approach Krishna? Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's the owner of everything. He has all opulences. He has unlimited devotees. He's full of unlimited bliss and knowledge. What do we have to offer to Krishna? So we approached him. Krishna, you're very fortunate. You've gotten such an intelligent follower. I have so much wealth to offer you. You must be overwhelmed with happiness that I've decided to offer you something. Now, Krishna already has everything. All we can offer him is our false prestige. So one has to approach Krishna, the representative of Krishna, without false prestige. Satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. So, we at least as a society accept Srila Prabhupada as a self-realized spiritual master. But in order to approach him, it would be a little difficult right now. Of course, he's here in his deity form, but how much awareness do we have that he's actually in his deity form? Just like how much awareness do we have that Gaura Nitai are personally present here right now? Therefore, we have to approach Krishna's representative. Now, Krishna's representative means that they're repeating the same message that Krishna spoke, or that our line of disciple succession spoke. They may not be as perfect as, say, Srila Prabhupada, but if they repeat the same message, then we'll satisfy Prabhupada. If we satisfy his representatives, then we'll satisfy Srila Prabhupada. So his representatives don't mean that Prabhupada is in disciple succession, now I'm getting initiated by a spiritual master, and now that's where the disciple succession, I'm in the disciple succession, and everyone else is somewhere else. Now, it was when Prabhupada was asked the same thing on a morning walk, how do we know that you're satisfied? We don't have to take a thermometer and stick it in Prabhupada's mouth and find out whether he's satisfied or not. So Prabhupada's reply was that if the temple president is satisfied, if the GBC is satisfied, then I'm satisfied, because that was his instructions. If we follow his instructions with a proper attitude, then he's satisfied. So satisfying the self-realized spiritual master doesn't mean that we don't know whether he's satisfied or not. If we satisfy his representatives, or indeed, and his representatives are telling us to satisfy the devotees. So if a devotee is pleased by our service, then we'll spiritually advance. It's not something really esoteric that we have to get out our crystal ball and, I did this service today, what am I going to spiritually advance? Please send me a certificate of spiritual advancement. I chanted 16 rounds the whole day. Please send by email some certificate of spiritual advancement. No, if we satisfy the devotees by sincerely, then by our service, then we'll spiritually advance. So it means that we should do the right service, not we satisfy the devotees, because one devotee, one of my friends, wanted to go and see Star Wars with me. So I bought him a ticket to see Star Wars, and he's quite satisfied. That's not what it means by satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master. It means that we're serving his actual representatives, so they have to represent Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. And if they're representing Srila Prabhupada and we satisfy them, then we're advanced spiritually. So how do we know inquiries and submission constitute the proper combination for spiritual understanding? So in our activities, we should be a little inquisitive and submissive. That we have to be inquisitive about who am I, who's Krishna, where am I, what should I do, etc. We think, well, I already know everything. I know who I am, I know who Krishna is, I know what to do. No one can tell me anything. If they do, they're an offender. So we have to be a little inquisitive, and when we hear the answers, we have to be a little submissive. No, that answer I don't like. Give me another answer. Okay, 15th answer. Okay, I'll accept that one. That's cool. We have to be a little, the more submissive we are to the right answer, then the more we'll make advancement. And unless there is submission and service, not that I was inquisitive, I wanted to find out what to do, what real knowledge is, what to do. I was submissive, but I don't really want to do anything. I've accepted it. This is true, that's true, it's all true. I should be doing it, but I'm not going to do it. It's not my style. Then we won't go anywhere. Krishna doesn't say, just keep on asking me questions and you'll go back to Godhead. No, he said, ask me questions, but in a way that's submissive, that you're willing to hear the answer. And when you hear the answer, you should actually follow it, and then I'll give you my mercy. Not that you submissively approached me, you were inquisitive, you heard the answer, you didn't like it, and you rejected it. Ask for another answer. No, we render service intelligently, then Krishna will give us spiritual understanding. Unless there is submission and service, inquiries from the learned spiritual master will not be effective. One must be able to pass the test of the spiritual master. When he sees a genuine desire of the disciple, he automatically blesses the disciple with genuine spiritual understanding. So it's not just we mechanically follow and mechanically we get the information. No, we actually have to go through tests. We join the Hare Krishna movement and we just ride back to Godhead in a limousine sent by Krishna. First class. No, spiritual life means so many tests. Otherwise, why in the Srimad Bhagavatam, who in the Bhagavatam approached his spiritual master, inquired, and just rode back to Godhead in a chariot? No, generally everyone faced difficulties. Prahlad Maharaj, he faced so many difficulties. After hearing from Narada Muni, he tried to apply what Narada Muni told him, and he got into one difficulty after another. Serious difficulty. Hopefully we don't meet the same test that he met, at least not yet. hopefully no one in Timisoara, if we go out and try and distribute a book, they throw us in a pot of boiling oil. Or throw us off the highest mountain in Romania. Or send us to the zoo to be crushed by an elephant. And finally they put poison in our prasadam. The last blow. Can't even eat peacefully. The Pandavas, they were kings, they were the rulers of the whole world, and yet everyone was trying to kill them. Imagine if everyone, all your cousins, relatives, everyone is trying to burn you to death, throwing atomic weapons at you. Man-eaters in the jungle are trying to eat you. You probably get a little paranoid after a while. And yet they remain fixed in Krishna consciousness. And even Dhruva Maharaj, as we were reading this morning, he didn't just go through a little austerity to develop his desire. First month he only ate kapita fruit every third day. Then after that, he only drank a little water every sixth day. After that he only ate leaves that fell from the tree every sixth day. During the summer he would have been really hungry. And then after that he only drank water every ninth day. This is only one. And then after that, he only, for the next month, then he only took one breath of air every 12th day. And then after that, after the last month, he stood on one leg and stopped breathing. So try that. That's serious determination. So we don't find that everyone just got an easy ride. They went to the temple, took a little prasadam, walked outside, and the Vaikuntha chariot was there to bring him back to Godhead. Someone came along and said, "Would you like to distribute a book?" He said, "No, I'll take the chariot back. It's all right. I'll take the easy path." No one has to put oneself in a situation where one has to rely upon Krishna. That will develop one's desire. So Prabhupada gave the devotees so many tests. It wasn't just written tests. It was actually tests. Go out and distribute my books. Even develop these farm projects. Develop the Gurukuls. He gave them so many opportunities to put themselves in a situation where they had to rely upon Krishna. So, but in this verse, both blind following and absurd inquiries are condemned, that one should not only hear submissively, but one should get a clear understanding through submission, service, and inquiries. So we're already blind followers. And we already make, even if we don't verbalize it, we're making so many absurd inquiries. We're distracted by so many things. What's in the newspaper? What's the price of the leaf? Is that what it is here? Lev. Who won the football game? Did you root for Croatia or for, what was the other one? France. There's so many things we're inquisitive about. And blind following. We don't necessarily think so deeply about what we're doing. Our brains aren't used to it. Use our intelligence too much. So these are condemned, that one should not only hear submissively, but one should try to get a clear understanding through submission, service, and inquiry. So there's a process. Try to be submissive by understanding our philosophy, that we're so insignificant. Not only we're insignificant, but we're not this body. And therefore, whatever we may think ourselves to be worthy of something because of our material situation is false. There's no material asset that we can approach Krishna with that he thinks, well, all right, you got that asset, you're in. Krishna doesn't need our material assets. They're not even ours, they belong to him. So one has to be a little submissive, realizing that we don't have anything else to be. We want to gain Krishna's favor, and then we have to become inquisitive how to gain Krishna's favor. And then when we find that out, we have to render service. So we have to hear from the right source with the right attitude and take the right priorities. Then we can make some spiritual advancement. And be willing to put into tests. So that we can develop our desire to obtain Krishna. Because that's what everything depends upon, our desire to obtain Krishna. If we examine our present desire to obtain Krishna, probably don't really care so much whether we obtain Krishna right now. Because we don't even know who Krishna is. Hardly we know even if he exists. Hardly we even know if we exist. Or who we are. So it's not very strong, but it's strong enough that we're here. So it has to be developed. And it may be developed just by eating prasadam, but I've never met anyone who's developed their desire for any more than eating more prasadam. So even to eat prasadam and develop our desire takes a lot of training. To obtain Krishna, that is. But if we become conscious of Krishna, then we'll develop a desire, more and more desire to obtain him, because he's the nature of love and bliss, and everything else we're desirous of. So we actually become conscious of him, so we have to take to the process of gradually becoming purified so we can become conscious of him. So a bona fide spiritual master is by nature very kind to the disciple. Therefore, when the disciple is submissive and is always ready to render service, the reciprocation of knowledge and inquiries becomes perfect. So it's not that there's something holding us back and we don't know what it is. We should know what it is. It's ourselves. Our causeless unwillingness to take to the process as it really is of Krishna consciousness or a seriousness. But we can develop it in the course of time, because if we try to develop it, Krishna will help in every respect. If we take shelter of help from Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, then these things will be provided to us by Krishna and his representatives, and we'll gradually make some spiritual advancement. The main problem is usually we approach Krishna consciousness with some other desire that we want fulfilled. And when that's fulfilled, whether it's getting out of distress, or having a comfortable material life, or gaining some answers to our inquiries that we have, or just getting free from all material miseries. So when we achieve that, then we say, well, I got what I wanted, and I can keep my false ego too at the same time. I can imagine myself something special and worthy of this and that and some other thing. So we can do that, but we want to obtain Krishna, that's all. So I'll stop there. Thank you. Any questions? Yes.
I wanted to ask about the place of Ayurveda, yoga, Hatha yoga, physical yoga in Krishna consciousness.
Its place? In what regard? You mean whether it's out of place or in place? Or?
If devotees should be interested in these things.
Should they? Not necessarily. It's not a requisite. People have gone back to Godhead without doing Hatha yoga, or even knowing what Ayurveda is. But it may be helpful, because we do have a body. It's like if we need some exercise, or we want to stay healthy, some of these things may be helpful to render service to Krishna. Because in our conditioned state, we have to use this body for service to Krishna. And if the body doesn't work, then we can't serve Krishna. We may not know how to serve Krishna. So, therefore, it's helpful. Someone who's more advanced may be able to serve Krishna under any circumstance, but we may not be so advanced. Anything else? Yes.
You mentioned cheating, and I wanted to ask, if we are cheated and we realize that, should we let it go, or should, like considering that it was our karma, or should we do something about it? For example, we gave some money and we received less produce for that money or something than we were supposed to get, or something like that. Or a bad quality, or a product that was of low quality.
So what do you mean?
For example, I don't know.
So what? Yeah, I understand that. So what are you supposed to do?
Yes, what are you supposed
You
to
should
do?
go back and get your money.
You should go
It's
back.
not your money, it's Krishna's money. They try to cheat Krishna. What else are you supposed to do? Say, oh, I'm so foolish.
Yes, you
It's
can
my
take
karma.
advantage to see.
Go back there,
Or
cheat me
my
again.
fault, you know.
Yeah, it is our fault. We also take, but we shouldn't be so fools that we don't do anything about it once we realize it's our fault. It doesn't happen by accident. Oh, I'm an innocent victim, and this person must be a super demon to cheat such a great devotee as I am. No, once we realize we've been cheated, they try to cheat Krishna, then we should go back if we can rectify it. But, they cheat us out of a dime, and we shouldn't, take the bus back. It costs $2. Just so we can rectify it. We should learn from our mistakes, too. So if we get cheated, it's also part of our karma. But then that we shouldn't do anything about it. Yes.
How can I reposition my mind back to Krishna when my mind runs away in daily activities?
Don't follow your mind. Follow Krishna. Follow the orders. Listen to Krishna and his representatives. Read Prabhupada's books, and then you'll have something. And then if we're chanting Hare Krishna, listen to the sound of Hare Krishna, and then you won't. Even if your mind runs away, don't go with your mind. Just listen to the sound. We're not the mind. The mind can go anywhere, but we don't have to go with the mind. We can add something in our experience, in our situation, so that we're with Krishna rather than with our mind that's running away. I can say Hare Krishna. Doesn't matter where my mind is. If I go with Krishna, then I'll be with Krishna. And if my mind goes somewhere else without me, then it'll go away. We don't have to worry about it anymore. Anything else? Thank you very much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande.
Shri Gaura Nitai ki jai.